Hi, and welcome to Apart Kingdom Ministries. Deuteronomy 13:13, verse 1 says, If a prophet or one who foretells by dreams appears among you and announces to you a sign or wonder, and if the sign or wonder spoken of takes place, and the prophet says, Let us follow other gods, gods you have not known, and let us worship them, you must not listen to the words of that prophet or dreamer. The Lord your God is testing you to find out whether you love him with all your heart and with all your soul. It is the Lord your God you must follow, and him you must revere. Keep his commands and obey him. Serve him and hold fast to him. That prophet or dreamer must be put to death for inciting rebellion against the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt and redeemed you from the land of slavery. That prophet or dreamer tried to turn you from the way the Lord your God commanded you to follow. You must purge the evil from among you. I'm going to read a little further. If your very own brother, son, daughter, or the wife you love, your closest friend, secretly entices you, saying, Let us go and worship other gods, gods that neither you nor your ancestors have known, gods of the peoples around you, whether near or far, from one end of the land to the other. Do not yield to them or listen to them. Show them no pity. Do not spare them or shield them. You must certainly put them to death. Your hand must be the first in putting them to death, and then the hands of all the people. Stone them to death because they tried to turn you away from the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. Then all Israel will hear and be afraid, and no one among you will do such an evil thing again. So, when I was reading this passage, the Lord said to share this with his people. And I said, God, well, this being in the Old Testament, which is for our learning, how does that look for now, for us now? What does that look like for us as your people now? And the Lord began to show me idols, different idols. And it wasn't new, but in this particular time, he gave me more. He says, some people say they love me, but they are worshiping other things like fame, fortune, leaders, jobs, businesses, popularity, success, prophets, apostles. They say they love me, but their hearts are in the wrong place. Tell them my truth. This is not a new message to us as sons and daughters, but it needs to be said. Whenever the Lord says release it, I'm going to release it every time, because my hopes is, and I know that if the Lord says to release this word over his people, then it's going to hit somebody's heart. It's going to touch someone's heart. Anything can become an idol. Anything can become an idol. Then the Lord he's been taking me actually to Colossians 3. Starting at verse 1. Since then you have been raised with Christ. Set your heart on things above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. If you are in that category where I just talked about the love of that worshiping other gods, and those the list that I gave you, if you find yourself consumed or thinking too much about anything, money, friendships, relationships, if you're thinking about it too much, if it's on your heart, it can happen to anybody. Then you are worshiping another God. So today, God is saying, this is the answer. This is the answer. This is the answer. Since then, you have been raised with Christ. Set your hearts on things above not money, not fame, not likes, not people, not relationships, not business, your business, not careers. Set your heart on things above. This answer, he gave me the answer today in this particular passage. Set your hearts on things above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. For you died, and your life is now hidden with Christ in God, sons and daughters of the Most High God. When Christ, who is your life, appears, then you will also appear with him in glory. Verse 5. Put to death, therefore, whatever belongs to your earthly nature: sexual immorality, impurity, lust, evil desires, greed, which is idolatry. So not only the first list, but here's an additional list. He said, because of these things, the wrath of God is coming. You used to walk in these ways. Your old man, the old flesh, used to walk in these ways, which you once lived. But now you must also rid yourself of all such things. A further list: anger, rage, malice, slander, filthy language from your lips. Do not lie to each other, since you have taken off your old self with its practices and have put on the new self, which is being renewed in knowledge in the image of its creator. Here there is no Gentile or Jew, circumcised or uncircumcised, barbarian, Scythian, slave or free, but Christ is all and is in all. So there's no separation. This is not a message just to one particular people. This is a message to all, because this is Christ's message for all his people. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves, put on again compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. We must forgive. Forgiveness is only made possible through Jesus Christ. It's only possible because we can't do it on our own. This flesh will tell you, no, I don't want to forgive that person. This person slandered my name. This person gossiped about me behind my back. This person tried to do harmful things to me. But God says, forgive. He says, show mercy, because he's shown us mercy. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body, you were called to peace, and be thankful. Forgive also means to do a favor. Show kindness unconditionally. That means it's not conditional. It's not based upon the person showing you kindness or the person showing you forgiveness. But you give freely. We grant forgiveness. We forgive freely. This word is from the same root as charis, spelled Charis, which means grace. I'm not saying what they did to you doesn't hurt, because it does. But also think about what you've done in your life. We have to think about, have we met the mark every time? Have we done everything right? No, we've hurt people. So we got to forgive people. And we can't make, you can make unforgiveness, even unforgiveness, a sin. It's an idol. Because what you're doing is saying, oh, it becomes pride. It becomes I. Unforgiveness is just rooted in pride. It's about I. And then what are we doing? Worshiping ourselves? Worshiping our own thoughts? Not so. Not so, son and daughter of the Most High God. We got to reach a people. There are people who want God, who's desiring God, but don't even know it. But if we got stuff in us, junk inside of us, No, he said, not so, but to set our mind on things above, set our hearts on things above. So that right there is the word for today from God to his people. And God said, and God said, God gave this to my pastor, Prophetess Austin, years ago. And it still is speaking. It's speaking today after all these years. And God said, it's not what I said, it's what God is saying. This is his word. And where he sends his word, it will not return unto him void, but it will accomplish what he sends, will accomplish what he desires for it to accomplish. So let's make the change today. This is a sign for change. Change. Let's make the change today to set our mind on things above and our hearts on things above. And continue, it's a sign for continue to walk in forgiveness, in a place of forgiveness where we forgive. God bless you.